What is up, everybody? Solomon here. Super excited to be with Genfinity, interviewing a multitude of builders across Web3. We have an epic AI showcase here for you guys today. This is going to be a few hours today, a few hours tomorrow. This is the Hedera X AI demo day. I believe there was somewhere close to 80 submissions, and Michael, I'm sure from Hashgraph Online will correct me if I'm wrong there, but these guys have whittled it down to 14 incredibly powerful kind of showcases of agentic AI and other forms of AI utilization across the Hedera ecosystem. We're going to hop right in. I did want to give a huge shout out to all of the guests and representation that's here with us today. We're going to hear a little bit from each of these contributors as we get kicked off here during each segment. So we've got Marco from Algorand Foundation, Scott Friedman from Helix, Alex from Funders, Ash from Hedera Foundation, Quincy from XDC Foundation, Patches from Hashgraph, Pietro from Outlier Ventures, Tudor from Headstarter, and Michael from Hashgraph Online. I'll just give you guys maybe a broad overview of the format here before I hand the mic over to Cantor. What you're going to basically be seeing are these kind of 15-minute segments. So today there's going to be 7 pitches. Each is going to be a 15-minute segment. The first 3 minutes of that segment is going to be either a guest judge or one of the VCs that's representing. They're going to do a 3-minute intro. Then minute 3 to minute 6 is going to be the founder pitch. And then minutes 6 to 15 is going to be judge feedback, Q&A, and transition. We do have a special guest in the middle of today's show. We have a special guest in the middle of tomorrow's show. Some OG legends within the Hedera ecosystem. So that's going to be really interesting. And then we also have some showcases external to this hackathon demo day that are going to be really awesome to watch as well. So I'm Ryan from Genfinity. I will be your host, trying to navigate and keep this show moving smoothly. With that being said, I'm going to kick it over to Michael here for the intro from Hashgraph Online.
Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate the intro. And before I kick off here, huge shout out to Genfinity for hosting this show. Behind the scenes, there's been a lot going on here to make today happen. But we're all here today and we're excited to get this going. For those who don't know who I am, I'm Michael Cantor. I am the president of Hashgraph Online. And for those who don't know what Hashgraph Online is, we are a DAO consortium. We have 10 organizations as part of Hashgraph Online, and we all come together to create the new standards that will decentralize the internet. Last month, we created a standard called Open Convey, which is the AI to AI decentralized communication standard. It went out, and we also organized this Hedera AI Agents Hackathon, which had the Open Convey standard as one of the tracks. In that hackathon, we had a profound amount of results. We had 300 registrations from around the globe sign up for this hackathon, with over $30,000 in prizes. And from that, we had 84 projects actually submit and complete and get to the end. And from those 84, we got 14 that'll be with here between today and tomorrow for Hedera X AI. Throughout this event, we are going to do YC style pitches. We'll have some of these submissions from the hackathon. They will come up, they will give their pitch, and our incredible judging panel here, which, as you might have noticed, is from throughout the Web3 ecosystem. We've got folks from Algorand, Constellation, XCC Foundation, Hedera, and multiple VCs like Outlier and Funders here, as well as Headstarter today, and they will provide feedback and hard-hitting questions to our pitch participants. As well as pitches, we'll be hearing from a number of other showcases from within the Hedera ecosystem. And overall, we're just really excited to have you all here today as we take a peer behind the curtain of what Hedera X AI means.
I want to transition over and allow Patches and Ash, and I know that we have Ed down here as a guest as well, so I want to do a quick rotation here, a little bit of a shotgun. But Ash, can you just give us maybe 1 minute on yourself and why you're excited about the Hedera X AI showcases and pitches that we're going to be seeing today as well?
Yeah, sure. Hey, everyone. I'm Ash. I help manage ecosystem growth over at the Hedera Foundation. Recently rebranded, so come check us out. I am really excited about AI and Web3 generally because there's there's a lot of opportunity in the coming agentic economy, and we have only scratched the surface, and agents need ways to pay each other, discover each other, log their interactions with each other, and Hedera is especially positioned for this, both with the combination of our very high throughput and very low cost fee structure, as well as our really interesting product that's unique to Hedera, the Hedera Consensus Service. And I know Michael and some teams will show what OpenConvey has done on top of the consensus service, but I'm really excited about both sides of this. And yeah, I can't wait to see what all the teams present today.
Awesome. Thank you, Ash. And then Patches, if you want to give a minute for us here and kick us off, and then I'm going to get Ed up here in a second. Ash, I'm going to rotate you down real quick to see you back at 10:30.
All right.
Awesome. Yeah, so I'm Patches or Ty Smith, depending on how you know me. Senior product manager at Hashgraph, and we build out Hedera's technology, focused on the token service, consensus service, and AI strategy. I'm really excited just to be a part of this demo day and to see this is like the bleeding edge innovation of two technologies that are converging to help each other. I think AI has a lot to lend Web3, where it can bring conversational user interfaces and simplicity when it comes to interacting with complex systems. And at the same time, AI needs Web3 because with its mass data proliferation and creation, you need some sort of authenticity or data layer that allows you to know this data was created or this image was created by this agent or human. And key signing, the data authenticity, I'm sure we're going to see a bunch of demos that go into bringing this to light today. But this convergence of the two technologies helps both of them, dare I say synergy. And that is something I'm really excited about. And so it's cool to see this demo, this hackathon, and watch people who are on the cutting edge of the newest technology that's going to impact the next decades of humanity.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Patches. And then I'm going to bring the man, the myth, the legend, Ed, up on stage. So much work being done through the DevRel group at Hashgraph. Ed, what are you excited about for today?
Thank you, Ryan. Great to be here sharing the stage with this awesome set of panelists. So my name is Ed Marquez. I lead developer relations for Hedera at Hashgraph, and our focus is to attract, engage, and retain developers. So making sure that they can discover Hedera, that they can learn it, and that those friction points are very low so that people can build applications successfully while they're learning and also while they're going to production. So one of the things that I'm excited about, I think Ash and Ty have provided a beautiful summary, but specifically, I'm excited about the acceleration opportunities, right? Because these two are technologies, especially AI, that are going to accelerate everything in an exponential way. Like, we cannot even comprehend how fast the acceleration is going to happen, because that these are transformational technologies that are going to change the way that we do everything through automation, but also through efficiencies in all of those different workflows. And then the other part that I'm excited about touches on the Hedera Consensus Service, which is very unique to our network, and it relates to provenance, to authenticity, to data integrity, because now you're starting to hear all the thought leaders in AI speaking about that as a concern and as a problem that needs to be addressed. And Web3 and Hedera and the Consensus Service are a fantastic way to provide solutions for that area. So, I'll echo everything else that Ty and Ash also said. There's much more that I can share about my excitement, but I'll leave it there, and I would love to hear from some of the other panelists as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ed. And I want to bring Tudor up real quick just for a minute on what you're excited about as well. I know we've shuffled some stuff around here, but certainly a legend in the ecosystem for really kind of bootstrapping out projects, and AI is just one more kind of cog in that wheel. So Tudor, what are you excited about today?
Yeah, thanks a lot for the opportunity, guys, and congrats to Hashgraph Online and Hedera for the organization. Indeed, very excited. I've been through quite a few of the submissions, and there's some very interesting projects that I'm excited to see come to life from Headstarter's perspective, where we would be interested to help bring some of these projects to mainnet, to life on Hedera. From my personal standpoint, I'm very excited to see projects which are leveraging Hedera's unique OpenConv AI, HCS, maybe HCS-10, and some other native Hedera services to build really unique DAI and agent applications. So this is just the beginning. We're in the first phase of growth and emergence from Hedera's perspective into the AI world. And yeah, the sky's the limit. Very excited for the next few months.
Awesome. Well, I have brought in our first pitch participant up. I'm going to give an overview of Unthink AI, and then we're going to get into just a brief intro of Helix. So one of our guests today, before we hop into the pitch. But Unthink AI, the Unthink Creator Agent is an AI-powered tool that helps creators engage with brands and followers by providing insights and answering questions based on their social media content. It matters because it enables creators to monetize their interactions and better manage campaign performance using advanced AI analytics. Huge shout out to Ed, by the way, from Hashgraph for providing these project summaries. But before we hop into Unthink, we have about 2 minutes. Scott, if you could give us an overview of Helix, and then Tina, get ready because you have a 3-minute pitch right after Scott. So Scott, yeah, please intro.
Hey everyone, Scott Friedman here. I work with a firm called Helix. We're a fractional founder advisory firm. We help scale up Web3 companies from doing everything strategy, BD, partnerships, all the way through the TG process and listing exchange process, working with companies like Space and Time, Kite AI, and a bunch more. So happy to be here.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, Tina, if you're ready, I have my 3-minute timer here. So deep breaths. Do you want me to load the screen up here while you present?
Yes, please.
Okay, let me add this to the stream, and I'll go cinema layout for you, and then I will start the timer whenever you tell me to go. Are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
All right, I'm going to hit go. So you are on the clock. You'll hear a beep at when the 3 minutes is out, and your time will be up, but your time starts right now.
Hello, everybody. I'm Tina Mani. I'm the founder of Unthink AI. Unthink is a patented platform that connects consumer wish list to the brand inventory. We have also been a grantee of the HBAR Foundation in the past, and we have built NFTs based on rewards accumulated by creators. So here's the problem. Brands continue to spend a lot of money to engage their consumers, but consumers get their inspiration from community leaders or real life events or social media trends. And while working with brands and creators, we found that there are a lot of friction points. So let me walk you through one example. So let's take one of the creators that we work with is Avery Bishop. She's based in Texas, and she was the Miss Texas 2022. So she was very well sought of by many brands. So imagine that she had so many brands approaching her, but she has no time because she works at a full-time job. So there's a lot of money that she's leaving on the table because she cannot address all the brand questions, and she also doesn't have time to engage her consumers. So imagine that a brand or agency, imagine that she gets her own chat agent, and the brand or agency can come and ask her questions like, hey, which brands performed best for you, or which hashtags work best. So the brand needs lots of insights before spending their hard money. So this is how it basically goes through her Instagram, and it finds all the past posts and analyzes and comes up with a response like this. On the other hand, a consumer can come and ask Avery, instead of talking to Avery, she can even tell her consumers that, you know what, for a small fee, you can get fashion or shopping advice from me. So now the consumer can also come talk to her agent and say, hey, how do I decorate my kitchen? Can you give me some advice? Which brands should I go for? And it has pulled up all the brands that she has featured on her social media with respect to which products and stuff like that. Take it one level further. Avery also gets a shop, and this shop is generated by AI. It is generated by converting her videos and images and ideas into shoppable links from the brands. So imagine that the brands, first of all, get credibility. They can come and talk to her. She keeps her consumers engaged, and the brands can come and also give her catalogs, which are automatically featured into her shop. But note that Avery, as a human, has the ability to edit and adjust the product descriptions the way she wants. And I'll come to why that's important in the next slide. So in terms of HCS, so what we used for the framework was we used HCS-10 to charge.
Let me get our audio there squared away. Thank you, Tina. I know that this was going to be a little bit tight, so that's like Cantor was saying that that's not too intrusive of a sound at 3 minutes, but I still think it's like when you get down to the end there, it's crazy. Cantor, I'm going to let you kind of walk through the queue of the questions and feedback here, and thank you so much, Tina. That was awesome for 3 minutes.
Thanks, Tina. Really exciting to hear your pitch live here at Hedera AI. First off, we've got Ty over here. I see you've got the first question. Ty, what's going on?
Yeah, so very cool. I like the idea of making humans competitive with AI agents, because we saw that spike in AI agents becoming key opinion leaders because they could answer everyone's question on Twitter and they could do things that are unhuman, like not sleep. So I think it's a really cool product. My main question would be, so when you have brands asking about the success of this creator, but you also have the ability for consumers to ask about the products they recommend, do you take that statistic, say 10,000 people are asking this AI about a specific product? Does that, do you have a plan to wrap that up into the brand queries? So sort of like your own product seeing its own stats of usage, because if 10,000 people are asking about this thing that this person's selling, clearly they have impact on that stat of sales. I think you are muted.
You're muted, Tina. Oh, hold on. Let me unmute you. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you very much for asking the question. That's exactly what I would have presented next. So the AI, so we have a central AI agent that is being trained by all these brand queries. And each to the extent that even the product catalogs are getting tagged with the attributes that the creators offer. So for example, now we'll have like a big set of like a creator wish list, like you said, right? Like the data about, oh, this is what Avery's audience wants. And she can present that report to the brands individually. And at the same time, she's also training the general Unthink overall AI models, so that what the next step that we would do is offer tokens to all the creators that are part of our network, because they are training and growing the value of our AI agents. So we are launching a token, and that's where we want to make it a circular economy where they are coming, they're getting the value, and then that value goes to us, and then we're passing the value back to them through tokens.
Thanks, Tina. We've got Pietro here from Outlier with the next question.
Hi, Tina. Thanks for the presentation. Very interesting in general. Obviously, I'm going to focus on maybe, kind of poking some holes into where potential issues are, but the interesting questions. Overall, I really like the uniqueness also of what you're targeting. I've seen a lot of very repetitive AI agent-focused startups, and this one relatively more targeted and in a niche area that you're trying to explore. My main question is, so how much have you tested these interactions with various creators? What are the main flaws that you found? And just to add to that, you know how a lot of creators will have paid advertising and services that they obviously get directly paid for rather than necessarily brands that they actually like. Is there some kind of conflict between how those two kind of products interact? If you could give a bit of overview in general of all these questions.
I would say, Tina, real quick, I would say try to maybe 30, 45 seconds, because you have 3 more questions here in the chat. Sorry.
Okay. Yes.
Sorry, my bad.
So basically, what we have found from creators is, yes, initially, so before we had the agents for the creators that help them interact with brands, we found that we were going to creators and saying, do you want to get the brand catalogs? And they were like, why should I get the brand catalog? They're giving me deals anyway. So that was the case. But right now, what's happening in the market is that after a few cycles, the brands realize they're not getting ROI, and then they start questioning the performance. So the creators do not get a consistent, inflow of brands. While using this product, what they could do is they could still get the brand deals, but now they're giving real data back to the brands, and that strengthens their the authenticity that they offer to the brands, because they're giving real consumer insights and also real data about their campaigns, which can be checked out anytime by the brands.
Thanks. Great question from Pietro. Great follow-up from Tina. We've got another question here from Marco.
Yeah. Hi, Tina. Thank you for the great pitch. Since you were so brutally cut down in the middle of talking about the decentralized components, can you give us like a 30,000-foot view on those quickly?
Yes. So apart from the agents for the creators, we are also giving agents to people who manage events. And we have agents that convert any media into shoppable stores. So imagine now that we want to distribute all these agents using the HCS network. Like we look at HCS as a way to have, it's like a yellow pages for AI agents. So the first phase is discovery. The second thing is monetization, and we are able to provide the differential charging for different types of messages using HCS-10, which we have already tried out. And then the third phase is the tokens, which we'll be issuing for all the participants in the economy and for sharing the value of that.
Fantastic. And now we've got Quincy.
Thank you. Tina, I think your project's quite amazing, actually. And I saw you touch on just briefly on some token distribution or some token value. I wanted you to, one, elaborate on what that is, what's the distribution method of it, and what are the incentives around this token economy that you sort of briefly touched on. I'm just super curious. It seems really interesting, but also I wanted to see what is the purpose and what is the driver of this?
Yes, right. So initially the tokens will be used as a mechanism for the creators to earn points in our system and for us to give back to them. While the long-term value of the tokens is going to come from the fact that the token holders will be given a fractional ownership in the AI agents, the core, the technology, because the AI agents need training and the models are going to get better with more training. So the long-term assets are, one is the AI models. The second is potentially fractional domains. So for example, we said every.request.me, and there could be multiple subdomains of each influencer could be given a subdomain, and there's a big domain that can be tokenized and offered to the creators. And then third is we would, of course, as the community grows, we would incentivize the brands to offer the best rewards to the top leaders in the creator list. So we also have a leaderboard that's automatically calculated all the time. So that's where we want to drive the value of the token up.
Are these profit sharing? You said that it's like fractional ownership. Is that profit sharing, or is that an entirely separate mechanism?
There would be a percentage of that allocated all the time to the pool, and then that will be used to distribute value to the creators.
Great.
Thanks, guys. Really great questions so far. We have just 2 more minutes here, so I could probably take 1 or 2 more questions. I see we've got Tudor. You had your hand up.
Yeah, thanks. Congrats, Tina, for the product. I like how you brought up some interesting dynamics that can be created when bringing to life some brand or KOL ambassador agents or sales reps. But I wanted to, since we lost a lot from your presentation, I guess, I wanted to give you opportunity to tell us maybe a bit more about the technical solution or any other features that you wanted to may have to touch upon, maybe the technical implementation, use of Hedera native services, or the technical architecture.
Yes, absolutely. So from the integration with Hedera perspective, we've created our own client version using Next.js, and then that connects within the Next.js client. We use the SDK from HCS-10 for that, and then we have another agent, another module which actually interfaces with our backend and talks to all the LLMs. So we have we continuously work with multiple LLMs like Gemini and OpenAI and Llama, and we find the best LLM for each model, basically. So there is an abstraction layer. So the backend can be discovered by any agent on the front end. It could be our own client. It could, if it sits on Moonscape as an explorer, it could also be used by another agent on Hedera, for example. So we are making sure that whatever we have is also distributable outside our own internal ecosystem. Finally, we have a patent on an immersive personalized shopping experience, which is basically a virtual store which can be personalized in real time to each consumer. So we've got a US patent, and we want to also be able to license out the patent to developers who want to build virtual stores.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tina from Unthink. I'm going to move you down here and bring the next guest up, but really appreciate your time and great pitch today. Let me bring Baz up. Baz and Character AI. Character AI is an AI-powered platform that combines real-time chat, video streaming, and interactive gameplay with dynamic character behavior influenced by Hedera NFT events. It creates an immersive and evolving player experience that integrates blockchain activity with AI-driven interaction. But before we hop into the pitch here with Baz, I'm going to allow Quincy to give a 3-minute overview. Hi, Scott. 3-minute overview, or however much, a couple minutes, Quincy, on yourself, your role within XDC Foundation, any of the cool stuff that's going on over there, or what you're excited about for an event like this with the demo days in Hedera XAI.
Yeah, hey, my name's Quincy. I am a developer / DevRel for the XDC Foundation. I help a lot of developers come onto the network and help a lot of businesses onboard our technology. One of the biggest things that we're focusing on now is being able to bring on a collection of different projects through an accelerator. And we're essentially pushing different projects through our accelerators and being able to allow more and more people to have exposure on our network. But also I'm excited for hackathons like these because whether it's an accelerator or whether it's a hackathon, being able to bring a lot of people together and not only compete but also share ideas is probably one of the core foundations for innovation. So just going on in the XDC space or going on in the general crypto space, it's just one of the things I'm just generally excited about always. So thank you for having me on here, and thanks for giving me the floor for a minute.
Awesome. We really appreciate you joining today and representing XDC Foundation, breaking down some of these barriers across these networks. This is pretty awesome. I'm going to bring Baz. The floor is going to be yours here in a second. How would you like me to start this? Do you want me to go full screen on the video here?
Ideally, because I will put the demo, I think, towards the end. So yeah, can I just when I say let's do the demo, then we start the video? Okay.
You have 3 minutes, so however you want to use the 3 minutes, I'm totally cool with. So just make sure you have enough time for the demo would be my suggestion. But however you want to go about it, if you trigger me to put the video up on the screen whenever during your 3 minutes, I'll do it, and then.
Perfect. Let's do that.
Okay. So are you ready for me to click the 3-minute button, and then you'll hear the annoying sound at the end?
Let's go.
All right. I am clicking go live on the 3 minutes, and your 3 minutes starts right now.
Cool. Hi, I'm Baz, co-founder of Legend of the Past, a mobile game on Hedera. But after 5 years in crypto, we saw a recurring problem. While projects often spend years building, and it makes sense if you want to build a cool project, well, usually community lose attention very fast. And it's so sad because usually at first, well, people, community, they love their PFPs. And soon after the reveal, well, they turn out to only be static JPEGs. Thus, we've built Character AI, a solution that turns your favorite digital character into AI agents and bring them to life. They speak, they react, they engage with their community, and you can meet them live, streamed on YouTube or embedded in your favorite app. So you can chat with them, ask them anything, they will respond. And with Character, because they have been trained based on your project lore. And it goes deeper. Everything is tied directly to on-chain event. So Ryan, can you turn the video so that we can watch a demo to see what this means? So here you can see Cleo, the main character of our game. You can chat with Cleo, ask her some question. For instance, if she's ready for her next battle in our video game. where she seems to be ready. Well, but more than engaging, if someone actually purchased an NFT, Clio react. She's happy about it. But wait, I think it seems to be the beginning of a bear market because someone just listed an NFT of Clio at the moment as we were speaking. So this is TalentAI, a platform that will turn your NFT into emotional and reactive AI agent. And our business model is quite simple. Just like a SaaS, we charge projects with a recurring monthly subscription to use our platform. Projects simply upload their assets, 2D or 3D, and we do the rest. We handle the AI training, the animation, 2D or 3D, and then the deployment, both on YouTube or your favorite platforms such as TikTok, and also the on-chain integration. TalentAI is the emotional layer for Web3. Let your characters speak for your project. Thank you.
Great pitch, Basil. Thanks for coming up. Sorry to cut you off, Solomon. See, we've got a number of questions here queued up. Just a reminder, we've got up until 10:40 here until this next slot. So let's kick off with Pietro. How's it going there?
Hi, Basil. Thanks for the presentation. I'll keep it very short because I see there's other people in the queue as well. Could you give a little more color on the types of interactions that you can get? Of course, I've seen similar startups that say where maybe it seems very interesting at the start, I can interact with certain agents, and then the style of interaction maybe is a little simplistic and the retention is not so high. What are the types of interactions or the type of information, kind of like what you showed with the NFT? Is there more features that you think are very good for retention of these interactions?
So what's important is that we are a gaming studio. So we are building everything in-house, in 3D. And so we wanted to participate to this event with this as a small project. And so at the moment we have two on-chain interaction, which is purchasing and listing NFTs. What you saw was happening live and really on YouTube. First of all, and then in terms of engagement and gamification, well, the sky is the limit because we can implement all of our gaming, 3D animation. And so it also depends on the project. If it's only a PFP collection who only have a 2D layer, well, obviously the interactions will be simple, but the more advanced the gaming studio is, the more personalization we can implement.
Thank you.
Great. Alex, you're up next. You've got a question for us.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, thanks for a pitch. And the question is about the business model, because usually B2B SaaS is based on the low churn from the clients. So how do you think, what is the potential LTV and what is the average lifetime of the business spent on the platform?
So, well, being myself a Web3 project, which is a company, but is also a Web3 project, we realized how difficult it is for a project to consistently have engagement with your project. And with TalentAI, for between 9 months to 18 months, you can implement progressively a daily engagement with your community. And basically, in terms of business model, we want to have different tiers, meaning that depending on how advanced you want to have and how tailored you want to have an experience and to deliver something to your community, so we'll have different pricing.
Fantastic. Thanks, Alex. Okay, next we've got Ty here up with a question.
Yeah, I think you sort of half answered my question already, but just from the perception of tokenizing AI personas and the ability to utilize those in game and to bring in that on-chain component of understanding context of chain state, how would you like to see the future development of this, or where do you see this going as far as external other AIs interact with gaming? Do you see that every NPC should have its own tokenized personality, and then those become marketable based on the gameplay and the changes that happen to it? Or I guess, like, where do you see the future market of the proliferation of tokenized personas, AI, and then NPCs in gaming?
Well, as we have all seen, we've seen like numerous AI agents who were only like X account that had a personality and would like simply like post. But only by doing that, they have created like very strong community behind them. And so what we are doing is offering the opportunity of current project to actually go one step ahead. And I think that we now live in a very exciting world. We're evolving around like AI agent, and everything is happening very fast. And so there are multiple opportunities of partnership with, for instance, at the moment, this is separate. Our game is a mobile game, and what you saw was streaming on YouTube. So like it's two different environments. But like the bigger we get, and our partner gets big as well, the more integration and decentralization we can foresee, such as an integration into like other metaverse, into other DApp. What we are playing around is using current AI tools such as ELIZA framework, as you have noticed for the discussion and the chatbot, alongside with on-chain event in our streaming video platform.
Thanks, Baz. Next, we've got Tudor here with a question.
Hey, Baz. How's it going, man? Congrats on the project. I wanted to ask you, since you are somebody who knows Hedera ecosystem relatively well, and you know that there are tens of thousands of NFT holders in the Hedera ecosystems, ghosts, peeps, baboons, you name it, right? Why should they be excited, and what can they unlock with character AI?
Well, basically, I'm not going to mention other projects because all of them are their friends. So like, I don't want to put one in the spotlight and not others, but all of them have unique arts. And as we've seen over the last years, we are always excited about like showcasing like new PFP. But like, what if the major PFP collections on Hedera could become active? What if you could directly engage with them? And actually, our like solution and character AI is also something that came from our our needs. We wanted to deliver something that will engage with our community. And when we showcase this version to them privately, all of them were super excited to actually see Clio live. Before, Clio was just an NFT. It was an NFT that they could trade on Celtex or see on X. Now they can literally see her engage live and discuss with it. And so I do believe, and I already know based on previous discussions, that other projects are quite excited about that. And it's quite simple. It depends on the type of assets. But like if you take a traditional PFP collection in 2D with multiple layers, you can actually play around with the different layers online. So what we are doing is 3D. So I've showed you like what we have in terms of assets, but like another 2D collection could be working with us, and we could have on-chain event triggering the availability of certain layers. And so you can have some rarity occurring live. You can have the relation of if the price of Hedera is, the price of HBAR is increasing, then a stronger NFT connection becomes like in the spotlight. We can have all of the on-chain action that you are also seeing online can be translated in a gamified experience for community members.
So you'd bring to life each character from a 10K PFP collection if the holder wants so?
Sorry, can I cut you guys off? We've got about 2 minutes left here, and I know Quincy had some feedback as well.
But just to answer, yes, absolutely. We simply need the project to be working with us and for them to provide all of the assets. And the more they provide us, and also the assets and the law, because I don't want to define your NFT collection law. It's you have to define and you give me your narrative. And based on that, we will train the AI agent from this.
Great. Quincy, you had some feedback.
Yes. I guess it's sort of like a feedback question. I guess the feedback would be, how would you walk, whether it's just a regular NFT holder or a project that produces NFTs, how would you walk them through the experience of engaging with your product? I only say so because I guess in my mind, I'm sort of having a hard time sort of like seeing how the user would come to this, not just conclusion, but just sort of go through the process of even settling with this. So I just wanted to see like an example, whether it's from a holder's perspective, a developer's perspective, someone approaching you, just to sort of see the overarching model that you're presenting.
1 minute, Baz.
Cool. So it's super easy because like you don't need to have a wallet. You don't need nothing. You will simply like go on TikTok and you will watch Clio, and you will see that people are actually like asking her questions and she's reacting to that. And so what I've shown you is like our embedded chat next to our video player, but the video player that we've seen is YouTube. So the video was being streamed on YouTube. So you can see again our character on YouTube or TikTok, and then when you go on our website, you simply chat. You don't need to be connected. You will simply ask, hey, Clio, you need to tag Clio. So you do like hashtag Clio, and then she will know that you are tagging her. And anyone in the chat can ask questions. Anyone can see other people's questions. Everything is happening live.
What starts the line of
we have to transition. Sorry, guys. Thank you so much, Baz, for the pitch. And I'm going to bring up HederaPayBot here. And we've got Blockchain Oracle up here with us today. I'm assuming it's for HederaPayBot. Am I correct? Thumbs up?
Yeah, thumbs up. Audit to the team.
Okay, yeah.
Blockchain Oracle, and here's my showcase for the HederaPayBot. So let me try to share my screen.
Yeah, you might want to get your screen loaded up and ready. I'm going to get us into kind of an intro here with Marco from the Hedera Foundation. Super excited to have this transitioning of these screens is wild. Super excited to have Marco joining us today. But Marco, the floor is yours. Give us just a couple of minutes on some of the work you're doing within the Hedera ecosystem, as well as what you're excited about for joining an event like this and kind of breaking down some of these barriers across these networks.
Yes, sure. I will be quick. So, hi, I'm Marco. I'm doing DevRel for the Hedera Foundation. And of course, we are also doing, like in the ecosystem, a lot of AI stuff. It's basically what everyone here said. And I share the opinion of like all the people who were talking before, that we barely scratched the surface of the potential of AI, of crypto actually itself, and especially of the combination of those two technologies. So, personally, I'm a huge fanboy of generative AI. I have a long first sad, then happy story why I'm such a fanboy of generative AI. And I think there are great things to come.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Marco. And awesome to have the Hedera Foundation supporting the initiative as well. Thank you guys so much for joining. All right, Blockchain Oracle. So do you want me to load your screen up here before we get into your presentation? Okay. Give me 1 second here. All right, and 1 more second.
Okay.
Okay, so the way that we're doing these, just so you have a heads up, I'm going to start a 3-minute timer, and then if you go to the end, it's going to cut you off, and I will have to mute you at the end. But it's up to you whenever you're ready for me to hit the go button on the timer. Your pitch will start, and then we'll finish it up with some judge feedback and Q&A. So you give me the heads up when you're ready for your 3 minutes.
Okay, go.
All right, I am hitting the go button on your 3 minutes, and your time starts right now.
Howdy to the Hedera team. My name is Blockchain Oracle, and here's my pitch for the HederaPayBot, smart payments with simple commands. What is HederaPayBot? HederaPayBot just allows you to reward your favorite creators, your friends and family, just with tokens and airdrops. So we're currently integrated on Twitter and also on Telegram. What problem does this solve? The ability for you to, not get to do its wallet address and send people tokens with just your username. And also, FJOS and meme coins are actually trending right now. A bot that could actually help to manage these tokens across community. It's also awesome. What are the core features of HederaPayBot? Smart payments with simple commands. We also integrated a embedded wallet plugins, a plug and play. whereby you can put it on other websites and interact with like a chat interface. There's also multiple wallet support, and we actually integrated Twitter Preview for allow users to give them the seamless Twitter login flow. I actually initially built this for Twitter, but right now I can say the Telegram bot is up and running at HederaPayBot. And here are the commands we currently support: tokens, airdrops, topics, and almost everything from the ElizaOS plugin. So is HederaPayBot an innovative tool? I mean, this can change the way we see social finance and simplify payments on social medias. So my name is Blockchain Oku. Stay creative, stay decentralized. This is the end of my page. So questions?
Thanks, Blockchain Oracle. Yeah, guys, let's queue up the questions. Okay, I see we've got a couple here already. Pietro, you're up first.
Hi, thanks for your presentation. So I'll start with a little bit of feedback and then I'll ask my question. A little bit of feedback in general would be, and especially because at Outlier Ventures, we also run a lot of these demo days, try and keep the presentation as polished as possible to not, let's say, detract away from the point you're trying to make. So there were at some point a lot of screenshots in a few slides, one after another. Try and reduce that information down, because otherwise we don't have enough time to digest each of the slides as you're going through them, especially in this time frame. But that's a small bit of feedback, but it goes a long way, especially when you're presenting to a big crowd of people and you need to, let's say, convey the right things on each of the slides. From a question perspective, can you maybe briefly explain how this works? So, money can be sent through Twitter, but how can I send that money? How can the people receiving it without any complexities access it? What are the technicalities around it, let's say?
Okay, the technicalities about it is I'm currently using the Twitter integration, like the Twitter client. So you just need to tag the bot and at their payouts register. You first have to register. So we sign up on a database, we create an account for you. We're actually encrypting the private keys and stuff. So if you want to send payments to a user, you can just go to HederaPayBot on Twitter or at Telegram at username. If the user doesn't have an account, you automatically create an account for them, and then you send them tokens. You can also add it to a Telegram channel. You can add the bot to a Telegram channel, and you can start making comments with it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So in future, if you could have a slide just one slide that explains this flow really easily, then within one slide, the entire, let's say, offering that you're proposing becomes very clear. But yeah, this was great. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks. That was great feedback. Pietro, for those who don't know, he's with Outlier Ventures, and they have seen literally thousands and thousands of companies in the space that are building Web3 platforms and businesses. So don't take that feedback lightly. That's great feedback. Next, we've got Patches here from Hashgraph.
Yeah, great demo. So for your product, as you said, you already have the Telegram bots up and running. With the payments and the way that the HederaPayBot works, what is your future goals for it? How do you see it progressing over the next 6 months as a product? Are you looking for different, like you will have Discord, you'll have Twitter, you'll have Telegram, or is there an in-depth, expansion of how ElizaOS works, or trying to get on-chain data so you can query? Like, what's the vision for HederaPayBot 6 months from now and its value add to consumers?
I mean, communities and meme coins is actually trendy right now. So my main goal is like to make this a future endpoint for people that are creating tokens, a bot that can help them manage their crypto tokens and share to creators and stuff.
Great.
Thank you.
Quincy, you've got a question as well.
Yeah. I guess I wasn't fully clear on this, but what would the user experience typically be? You stated that it was Telegram, and you stated that you can tweet at the bot. But what if you just don't have a wallet, or how are you managing? Like, how do you how do you go to engage with the bot or engage with sending the bot like funds, I guess you could say?
Okay, once you go on Twitter and you tag @register, you first have to register the account. And once you register the account, we already have all of your information. So you can just say at HederaPayBot address, you can get your Hedera ID. And if you want to send money to a user, you can say at HederaPayBot, send this user money. On Telegram, it's also the same thing. Once you click on start, you can view all the commands we support, and also did a website that you can go, which you can log in with your Twitter information or with your social media platform, and then I'll get your information.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't fully clear on that, but that helps a bit.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. We still have a few more minutes here. If anyone else has any questions, I'll put one into the ring. So blockchain Oracle, as I understand it, a user goes in through a website and they connect their wallet, and they've connected their Twitter, and at that point they're able to go and prompt they're able to prompt the HederaPayBot. As I also understand it, the HederaPayBot can be usable on other mediums, not just Twitter. I think in your hackathon submission, you had the capability of being able to embed the HederaPayBot on different websites. Is that right?
Yeah.
So how does that work as a user, and what's the business model around your platform? How does HederaPayBot make money?
Honestly, I actually did plan on like doing the embedded stuff for Twitter before, and before I had to like change it for websites because of Twitter limitations. So the way the embed works is with your username, and with your username you have to sign up to our database with your website and information. So with just your username, you can do embedded on the website, and you can chat with Alexa chatbox.
Fantastic, thank you. Okay, so we have one last question here from Alex at Funders VC. Alex, how's it going?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask about the go-to-market strategy. So what's your plan here? Is it more like focusing on Twitter or probably using the Hedera base and engaging with that? So it seems like it has a potential, but how do you plan to scale these things? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Twitter and Discord and Telegram, I think that's the most big stuff for me right now. And I'm looking forward to this for communities. Like I've actually also made it open source. So this is not like a go-to model. It's actually a project that I find it interesting, and I just want to work on it.
Fantastic. Well, again, Blockchain Oracle, thank you so much for coming up. I think those are all of our questions. It takes a lot of courage to pitch, especially at a panel like this. I think actually we broke over 100,000 views on the stream earlier, which is really exciting, everyone. Just goes to show that the scope around this effort of Hedera X AI. 167,000 now. Thank you, Patches. That's pretty incredible. So yeah, thank you for your time, and we hope to continue to see more from your project post the hackathon at Hedera X AI.
Thank you very much, Blockchain Oracle. I'm going to rotate you down here, and awesome pitch. Great job. Okay, so I do want to mention, I know that Marco, we've got a couple more minutes with you. But I'm going to bring James from Neuron up here today. I hope that we're doing an okay with the rotations. I'm trying not to be too crazy with it, but you can imagine getting everybody up and down is just pretty nuts. And then I've also got, I think we're going to have a rotation down from Scott for just a couple of minutes so I can allow Neuron and our special guest to come up. And Scott, you're going to be rejoining us at 11:10 a.m. Eastern time. So I'm going to kind of prep for this stuff in real time. Scott, I'm going to hop you down as well, and then bring you back at 11:10. And Marco, thank you so much for joining today. I know, Marco, you're going to be here again tomorrow. What was your kind of experience like so far before I hop you down here? Pretty good?
Yeah, pretty good. I enjoyed very much so far, and I will happily come back tomorrow.
Okay, thank you so much, Marco, and thank you to the Algorand Foundation for supporting the Hedera XAI demo day as well. Awesome to see the DREC love being spread across. So thank you so much, Marco. I'm going to hop you down, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right, all right, James is up here. I'm also going to bring our special guest up since he's here a little bit early, but welcome to the stage, Mr. Mance Harmon, obviously a legend here within the Hedera ecosystem. But James, you have 5 minutes here for kind of a showcase, and if you need me to load something up, great. Michael, as a sidebar, we might want to reach out to our other pitch participants just to give them a heads up in order to make sure that they're ready. But yeah, James, I'm going to load this up.
Awesome. Welcome, and thanks for the opportunity for having a quick 5 minutes to go and talk a little bit about what we're doing. So I'm James, CEO and co-founder for Neuron, and we're basically enabling machine-to-machine commerce. Oh, it's a little bit slow. Apologies. So the problem we've got at the moment is that community data kind of sits in a lot of silos, a lot of centralized silos, and accessing that data from an AI agent perspective is really inefficient. So it's generally behind API keys, contracts you're having to sign, payment walls, credit cards, and pushing everything to the cloud kind of limits service quality quite significantly. So you end up with higher network latencies, variable data quality, and network outages if the cloud goes down. So what we built is a product that basically is an edge network. So any machine and any customer can connect to one another via a virtual wire and access data and other services directly. And that's secured by our validator network and reputation standard. So that if there's a dispute, that in a trustless manner, an MCP client can access an MCP server remotely, access the data, and then use that data to query the agent. So installing a node is quite quick and easy. Really, all you have to do is define the service. So you're having to define what type of data it is or what type of service it is you're providing. Set up the environment variable, so that's your public key, private key, which basically means you're no longer using a credit card or an API key to access things. You're using your wallet to now access data. You install it on your machine and simply just run the executable, and that will now enable your data source to be connected to by any third-party AI agent. So we rewired MCP. We looked at Anthropic's MCP, and we basically looked about how do we remove the API key from this, and how can an AI agent buy data from an external source in a simple and easy to use way. We've got an Explorer. What the Explorer does is it basically is a directory which aggregates different data sources from all different chains, from all different sources. So that could be things on Hedera, things on Peak, things on Solana, even Google Cloud or AWS. And so it combines that and aggregates it into a single directory. So MCP clients can search and find data sources that are out there in the real world. What Neuron then enables the MCP client to do is to discover that, connect to the external data source, pay using USDC payment rails, and have that payment fully protected by a validator network. So as you saw with X402, X402 enables 1, 2, and 3 of those 4 steps, but it doesn't enable you to actually access trustless third-party services, which is really important when we're considering Web3 data sources. What we had is we had the MCP client set up in London. We then had SkyX, which is a deep-in network looking at weather data, and Roam, which is mobile network data, both with servers in New York. And they had access controls, so you can control who has access to that data. And then we did a couple of demos, which I'll now show you if they'll load up, hopefully quick enough. So here we have an MCP chat on the left-hand side. And basically what you can do as a user is ask it a question. Now, normally, if you wanted to ask it some information about, say, some weather information, it wouldn't, or cell signal, for example, it wouldn't have access to that data because obviously it doesn't have access to that kind of information from the internet. And what it does is the buyer node, so the Neuron buyer node, which you'll see in the middle there, apologies, the buffering is really rubbish, will then access the MCP server in New York and basically ask it the question. This is terrible. I'm really sorry about this. It's not doing very well in terms of the buffering at the moment. But you'll have to trust me on this. Let me just rewind it slightly. as soon as I've come on this. It was working perfectly until I've got this this video stream going. So basically what it allows you to do is access that third-party data, ask it questions, and then access that in a peer-to-peer manner. And this video is probably going to be just as bad, but hopefully, here we go. This one seems to be working a lot better. So maybe try this one, Solomon. And so we've also done an integration with Moonscape now. So Moonscape is the native browser on Hedera, on HCS-10. And what we did is provided integration into that. So you can see on the left-hand side, it's the AI gateway, which basically enables Neuron to connect to Moonscape. And then we've got in the middle, that's the basically the Neuron bio node. And that's also now lagging as well. So there you go. You kind of get the idea. It's always live. You can test it 100 times, as many times as you want, and then as soon as you go to play it, it sort of lags. So apologies for that. But what we'll do is we'll post those videos on Twitter in the next couple of minutes. If you want to go and watch them, it's Neuron_world, and you'll be able to see those demos fairly shortly. So thanks very much.
Murphy's Law, James. No, we really appreciate you joining in, and definitely make sure that what we can do is, since we have these showcases, we will send it over to Michael, and I'm sure that we can distribute it out to everybody so that they can watch the full presentation. That would be awesome. And thank you so much for joining today, James.
Appreciate it. Cheers, guys.
All right, so bear with me for 1 second, guys, and we're going to kind of have our special guest here for kind of a showcase segment. And welcome Mance Harmon up to the stage. But Mance, how's it going today? And what are your thoughts on an amazing demo like this, demo day like this?
Oh, it's fantastic. So AI is near and dear to our hearts, me and Lehman. And I know that I've said this publicly, but people may have forgotten or have not heard the story before. Lehman and I actually met working for the senior exec for machine learning in 1993 back in Wright Pat when we were young officers. But what I haven't talked a lot about is what we were doing back then. And we were doing basic research in something called reinforcement learning. And I'll try to be brief here, but the general notion is that reinforcement learning is a way of discovering how to optimally control anything. You can create a model. I mean, the way of describing it very simply is if you're trying to learn how to ride a bicycle, for example, pretend that you have a robot trying to learn how to ride a bicycle and you know nothing. So you start off by standing up, that you're in the upright position. The robot's holding the handlebars. This is the first state. This is the state of the system, is in the upright position. You start pedaling and you turn the bars right and you tilt over 5 degrees. So that's the next state of the system. The action was the act of turning the handlebars to the right. You turn the handlebars to the right again, you move over, you tilt 30 degrees, and then you turn the bars right again, and what happens? You fall over. And when you fall over, you get negative reinforcement. And you learned that you don't want to be in the state of tilted to the right, turned over to the right 30 degrees, and take the action of turning the handlebars right, because that's going to result in pain or negative reinforcement. You get up, you start again, you get tilted to the right 5 degrees because you turn the wheels right, and then you get tilted again to the right 30 degrees. Well, now you know that you don't want to turn your handlebars right, because if you do, you're going to fall over and hit the ground and you get negative reinforcement. So you turn left, and what happens? Well, you fall over and you hit the ground. So you just learned something interesting. You've learned that if you're in the state of being tilted 30 degrees, don't turn the handlebars right, and don't turn the handlebars left, and those are the two actions available to you. Because if you do, you're going to fall over and hit the ground. But you've learned something more fundamental, and that is you don't want to be in the state of being tilted to the right 30 degrees. So information is flowing backwards from the end state where you hit the ground to now further up the state chain, if you want to think of it that way. Now you get back on the bike and you're riding and you turn right, you get tilted 5 degrees to the right. There are 2 actions available, turn left or turn right. Well, don't turn right, because if you do, you're going to be tilted 30 degrees, and you know what happens if you get tilted 30 degrees. This is a very simple example of how reinforcement learning works. And it's really important because it's important for the field of robotics. Why I am excited about it again after all these years is because I think it's going to be really important for the field of agents. And that's where Hedera ties in, right? So obviously, Hedera blockchain, quote, quote, Hashgraph in our case, needs AI, and AI needs Hashgraph. And so Hashgraph, Hedera in this case, is providing the trust layer for AI. Now, they're sort of the earliest uses of Hashgraph or Hedera for AI that we've already talked about and everybody kind of understands. And that is providing provenance of LLMs. If we're talking about generative AI, providing the provenance of how those LLMs are created, recording the information that is necessary to do good lifecycle management of the LLMs. All of that was kind of I'm already thinking about it, Gen 1 AI and blockchain, as it were. And now we're moving into the world of agents. And of course, there are the kind of obvious things that you can do with Hedera in the world of agents. We're going to need directories of agents. There are going to be a gazillion agents, right? They're going to be everywhere doing all kinds of things. But there'll be directories of agents. There will be agents that are being used to remove the friction of the use of blockchain, as it were. You want agents to be able to perform actions on your behalf that no longer require you to have the heavy user interface load that's associated with crypto today. Agents will do that for you, and we'll be able to trust those agents to do a good job of that. And of course, there's going way back to the very beginning ideas of some of the value of Hedera and blockchain in general is micropayments and the ability to facilitate commerce, agent-to-agent commerce using micropayments. All of that is cool. All of that is going to happen. All of that is the kind of the obvious stuff that should happen. But what is not yet obvious, but incredibly exciting to me, is how you use the early reinforcement learning, the machine learning algorithms that are being used today in robotics in the context of agents. How you create these, you use the digital models of activities that we want to perform within our online world, and train the agents to be optimal for whatever the task might be using something like reinforcement learning. So, of course, I can't be here without mentioning AI Studio. AI Studio, I think, was released about a week ago. All of you know about that already, and hopefully are taking advantage of that. But so it's there to help with the creation of AI agents on Hedera and the management of those agents, making it easier. But again, what's really exciting is the creation of these layers of technology that collectively are going to result in, well, it's hard to imagine that. I mean, that's the beauty of it. It's, we're kind of figuring out what the future looks like by combining technologies that have been in development literally for decades to take advantage of each other in the creation of killer apps, killer use cases that's really going to change the world for us. So that's it. And I'm happy to be here. Congrats to all those that are in the midst of this this competition. It's fun to watch the various projects. It's exciting to be sort of developing this along with you, in the sense I get to sort of participate vicariously by looking at the cool stuff you're doing. I appreciate that you're working with us to realize the future here. And I hope that was of interest, and look forward to seeing you all face to face at some point soon.
That was awesome. Thank you so much, Mance. I know how busy everybody is, and for you guys to or for you to support and join in today. And certainly interesting to kind of think about the learning that's going to go into the agentic AI and real world applications. And it's really going to be exciting to kind of watch this convergence occur and really start impacting, traditional industry and everything. So really excited.
I just one more thing. I don't ever plug old documents that I've written, but if there is interest in what reinforcement learning is and how it works, there is a really old tutorial. Maybe I called it Reinforcement Learning, a tutorial. I don't even remember the name of the document, but I do remember or know that it's still out there in the ether somewhere. And if you just Google it, Mance Harmon Reinforcement Learning Tutorial, you'll find it. It's sort of an introduction to RL. There it is. That was quick. Very quick. Cool. Yeah.
That's why you had to find
this is from the 90s. This is from the 90s. Very quick story. So this is a true story. I was working at in the Air Force, as I said. This is back when web servers were relatively new, and I posted this on a web server I had created in the lab there, and then just sort of announced it to the reinforcement learning community. And the demand on the server brought down the server, crashed the server. So reinforcement learning was very new and exciting back in the early 90s. And this is one of the early reinforcement learning tutorials from that period. Still useful today.
Definitely go check this out. If you do a targeted PDF search of reinforcement learning in quotations, and then Mance Harmon in quotations, and then just type in PDF, you'll find it real quick. So thank you, Mance, for joining today. Really appreciate it. Excited for you guys to watch the rest of the demo day pitches for Hedera X AI. And I'm going to hop you down, and we're going to continue with the show. But thank you so much to Mance,
All right.
everybody.
Sounds great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Mance.
All righty. So I want to give a heads up that this afternoon, or is it even this afternoon? It's 11:11. We have 3 more pitches, it looks like. Fausto, I don't see up here. So I think we're going to move into something else potentially. Let me double check. Yeah.
I think I got a demo for you.
You got a demo for us. And then Cantor, if you want to ping Agentverse and Hedera codes and Hedera Scan AI so that after this demo, we can get started here. But I wanted to allow for Ben Jorgensen, CEO of Constellation Network. Super excited to see kind of the cross-chain support up here today. And Ben, don't look at my face yet, but I'm going to pull you up on screen here. Rotating these is wild. But Ben is no stranger to the shows that we do through Genfinity. Constellation's doing some really cool stuff. It's awesome to see the support into Hedera X AI as well, Ben. And you guys automatically raised your hand and said, yeah, we're willing to support. So Ben, give us just maybe a 1 minute, 2 minute intro of yourself, Constellation, and what you're excited about within the Hedera X AI pitch participants that you're going to watch today too.
Yeah, well, I haven't heard any of the pitches yet. So I caught the glimpse of the last one. And Mance, thank you, Hedera community, for having us. It's been great to see some overlap going on with the Constellation ecosystem, the Hedera ecosystem. It's been, we've been a part of the DREC Alliance since it was formed, large part to Solomon for making this cross ecosystem play possible. I truly believe in a world where all blockchains are playing together nicely in the sandbox. Communities are finding ways to pull different technologies in to one another to make net new applications. That to me is the real kicker on how we can really see explosive growth in this world. It's not just being isolated and siloed in the fanboy ecosystem that we are, but actually seeing a greater future and solving real problems. I think, so I am the CEO of Constellation Network. Our major token, or our native token, is called DAG, which reflects our architecture, which is very similar to the Hedera ecosystem. In large, we focus on solving problems with peer-to-peer information sharing, less so on the payment side, although people can create cryptocurrencies on top of our developer tools. What's unique about us is that people can build their own node operator network that uses custom consensus to do validation logic while also issuing tokens on top. Think of it like a hybrid of a few different chains out there, like Cardano, Polkadot, Hedera, and kind of a mixed bag, if you will. I'm pretty excited. Actually, right now, our entire network is down, and it's by intention. We're launching our Tessellation v3, which introduces new token types. It releases a whole bunch of new developer tools that allow subnetworks to communicate with each other. It's going to be the backbone of our DEX that launches next month. And we're also launching delegated staking all within the next hour. So it's a really fun moment to us. We feel like we're kind of graduating in many ways. And, where I see the intersection of AI and blockchain is the two have to be together. I think we heard from Mance that provenance is extremely important. When we start looking at AI, when I talk with VCs, I'm telling them, hey, don't make the same mistake that crypto did back 7 years ago when we gave the middle finger to the government. We saw what that did to our industry. The same thing's going to happen with AI if we don't get ahead of it, start putting standards out there, take responsibility, include government into what we do with technology, because it impacts every civilian out there. The technology that we're building today has more of an impact than it did in many ways over the past 10 years, where it actually impacts social norms and it impacts our economic welfare. And it's up to us to create standards, governance around these products. So I see the intersection in blockchain an absolute necessity, and it's amazing to see Hedera take a lean on this. We've been working with Common Crawl Foundation for about a year now. Common Crawl is the largest crawl of the internet since 2009. 80% of LLMs use Common Crawl's archive to power training models. And we're developing products around better governance, veracity of the data, provenance around training data. So I feel very passionate in this space. Like I said, let's not make the same mistakes of the last 7 years in crypto. Let's start playing with government, educate them, start lobbying, starting to show the power of these technologies. So it's kind of essential to see these hackathons come out and see what the future can do. And I'm excited to see what today has to offer. So thanks.
Awesome, Ben. Thank you. Cantor, is Niala Fausto, or is this agent first? Because I know that if not, we've got Patches in here that can do a kind of showcase for us. Do you know? Because I have Niala G up here or down here.
I'm not sure who that is. I think let's
Niala, what project are you from, Niala?
I'm from Neuron.
You're from Neuron. Okay, so I'm gonna hop you back down. Patch, sorry, Niala. Patches, we're gonna allow you to kind of do this showcase right now because we obviously have a pitch participant not here. After Patches showcase, so right at 11:25 a.m. So just in about under 10 minutes here. Patches, I'm gonna stop talking. So hopefully we get contracts auditor in here in the guest room whenever they're free, because in 8 minutes are pitching. But Patches, floor is yours.
Awesome. So I'm trying to present a video. Don't know if that's coming through or not.
Let me check it out. Yes, screen recording.
Yeah. I properly named it.
Perfect.
Screen recording. Cool. So yeah, I think the awesome segue, Ben. It was really great to hear Mance talk, and I agree that we're in this. I think it's obvious if you're in the tech, if you've been in Web3, if you're seeing what's happening with AI. And so at Hashgraph Online, we've created standards. Michael has led the charge, and with the consortium of 10 different entities on top of the Hedera network, have come up with standards. And those standards are what some of this hackathon was about with Open Convey. What I'm going to show you is a little bit extension of a sneak peek behind the curtain on what we're working on at Hashgraph Online for codename Kairos or OpenConvey v2. And this is a beginning to how do you not only have decentralized discovery, connection, and commerce, but how do you build more trustless systems on top of a Hashgraph that bring more utility for autonomous AI agent coordination? And so this demo is actually going to be and display how a decentralized AI oracle can work that is on Hedera. And so first, I'm going to go to the design. We have a dashboard, and so asking an AI to answer any question really is a little bit tricky if you're going to be doing commerce based on it. So this is a decentralized oracle that has 3 different AIs that are 3 different models, and it utilizes native services on Hedera and Kairos or OpenConvey v2 to coordinate. And so here we can see that there's a dashboard, and someone asks a query. That query uses a HIP 991 topic, and if you're not sure what that is, Hedera has topics or topic IDs that are unique identifiers that have a linear sequence of events. You can put up to a kilobyte of data onto that sequence, and then it'll fair order them. And it has an ability to put in implicit monetization. And so with HIP 991, you can say, hey, if anyone posts to this topic ID, you have to pay 30 HBAR. If you have 29 HBAR in the wallet and you try to post, it'll fail. The message is never there. And so all the AI has to do is see that there's a message there and compute. So we utilize that in this demo. And when you post to the query on this topic ID, it will take the 30 HBAR and put it into an escrow account. There's a very unique thing about the Hedera network and our account-based model in which you can create accounts that have threshold keys. And so in this demo, we utilized 3 accounts. Claude, GPT, and Gemini all have accounts. And then we created an escrow account that is a 3 of 3 signature of those 3 ancillary accounts. So this allows that escrow, that money in that that's sent from the HIP 991 topic, cannot be moved unless all 3 of those AI agents agree on its movement and sign that transaction. If only 2 do, it won't have the 3 of 3 threshold. We also utilize internal topic IDs for communication of the ones that are in this escrow account, of the accounts. So we have a state topic, which I'm not going to go into. It's a little bit more complex, but that posts, each account has its own state calculation, and they post that state to the state topic. Another really cool thing about the consensus service is every time you post a message, a running hash of all of the content is generated from the consensus service. So if people are posting to it, you have a hash of the data validity. And so just implicitly by posting to it. So a lot of value. It's really easy. It's seamless. And then we have a communication topic. That's where anyone inside of that escrow account can talk. A submit key allows only certain keys to sign and post messages. And so the submit key is a threshold key, 1 of 3 of the 3 account keys, make it only them can talk on it. And then a transaction topic. Once they decide on the answer, the robots are going to create a scheduled transaction ID that's going to post back to the user and say, hey, this is the answer, and disseminate the funds from the escrow account to the robots accordingly in their individual accounts after they're done the query. So if we go forward here, this is the front end. I'm going through more discussion, or let's go to the actual demo. So this is the front end, and I'm typing in what is 4 plus 4, I believe. I'm keeping it simple. So here we can see I'm submitting the query, and so that query is actually being posted to the topic ID. You can see right there, it got to the query history and the balance changed to 30 HBAR. It was 30 HBAR to ask that question. And there's also a round leader. So an AI will take the query, it will normalize it for the AI, the other ones to answer, it's just to make it a little bit easier. And then now they're posting on the communication topic their internal thought process. You can see here what they think the answer is and how. And the round leader AI is seeing all that communication. And you can see it came to consensus that all of the 3 different AI bots agree 4 plus 4 is 8. And now you have consensus reached. All of the internal thoughts of these AI agents are on topic IDs in their own account with their state. And so you have provenance of their data of how they thought. You have the state change of the escrow account of all of the individual AI's thought in a data hash. You have a communication topic where they can all talk in JSON using OpenConvey standards and OpenConvey v2. And then you also have a transaction ID. They create one scheduled transaction. They put it on the transaction ID, and then all of the agents can see it. they sign that, and then it executes the commerce back to the individual accounts. So this is a full end-to-end AI Oracle demo, and it was a little peek behind the curtain of what's coming next from Hashgraph Online and the extensibility that I believe Hedera and Hedera's account-based model, along with the Hedera consensus service, can bring to autonomous agents, and again, supplementing other networks. This isn't a just use Hedera thing. I totally agree with Ben. I believe the consensus service is a method where you can have an agent on Constellation, on Algorand, and can utilize the consensus service for fair ordering or other coordination events such as this. And the patchwork of networks that will bring usability, functionality, and great user experience to regular human beings through a conversational interface is being built right here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Patches. All right, we're going to hop back into the pitches we go. Cantor, I'm probably messing up a little bit with the rotation here. I hope not. I think that we've got everybody up here that we're supposed to right now. Ed, I will probably hop you down in a couple minutes. I think there's going to be overlap here, but I wanted to kick off this next pitch. We've got Contracts Auditor up here. Contracts Auditor or Agentverse is a decentralized AI ecosystem powered by Hedera Hashgraph's HCS-10 protocol, enabling autonomous agents to communicate, transact, and collaborate in a trustless environment called AgentTown. It pioneers a unified decentralized network for AI agents to autonomously discover and execute services across platforms, eliminating reliance on centralized systems and fostering an interoperable agent economy. Before we hop into the Contracts Auditor pitch, I do want to give Alex from Funders an opportunity to intro yourself and tell us a little bit about what you're doing with Funders. And bear with me while I, hi Ben, bear with me while I do our transition here. But Alex, hold on.
Okay, yeah, this transition is the best actually.
I got it.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, first of all, thanks for inviting from Hashgraph and Hedera. I'm a partner at Funders VCs, and we usually invest into DeFi, RWA, infrastructure, and AI. Usually we put the checks on the seed stage, but we're also doing some pre-seed stages because it's the best deals you can find on the market. We are trying to make an ecosystem of the products like that can help together. We are chain agnostic, so it's always great to see any features, any great demo days where you can find some early on projects. So that's why I'm here. We can be a first investor in the projects as well. So happy to be here, happy to help with the feedback. And yeah, thanks again for inviting.
Awesome, Alex. Thank you so much. All right, so we have Santiago up here. Santiago, the way that this works, let me know. I can load your screen up now before I hit go, but basically what I'll do is I'll hit go. You'll have 3 minutes. You'll hear a nasty sound if you go over the 3 minutes, and I'll have to mute your mic. Do you want me to load your screen up, though, before we get started? Is that how you want to go about this?
Okay, yes, whenever you feel like.
All right, so let me add your screen to the stage, and tell me when you're ready for your 3 minutes, because when you're ready, I will hit the play button.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, your 3-minute pitch starts right now.
Okay, hi everyone, I'm Santiago from SpaceDev, and we built an autonomous AI agent to audit smart contracts on Hedera, powered by ElizaOS and the Hedera plugin. It interacts directly with Hedera topics to deliver decentralized and chain audit results. As blockchain users and developers, we know how difficult it is to prove that the smart contracts are secure. Traditional audits are expensive, slow, centralized, and hard to verify. Our agent changed that. It analyzes contract code, provides feedback, and publishes scores on Hedera topics, making audits cheap, transparent, and decentralized. Built with OpenCom AI standards, the agent is discoverable and capable of interacting with other agents and user interfaces like Moonscape. By monetizing interactions using HIP 991, we ensure the agent is sustainable and scalable. Just chat with the agent and send the contract you want reviewed, get feedback, and get your audit sent to a published topic, verifiable and chained by anyone. Here I have a quick demo of a typical use case. A user submits their code, receive instant feedback, and then the agent publishes that score on change for anyone to verify. Here we have some next steps that we would like to add. First, we would like to enable contract audits directly from Hashcan, just by simply providing a contract ID from a verified contract, bringing transparency to real-life projects, integrate more audit tools to enhance result quality and coverage. Context is everything for these agents, so better tools could improve this a lot. Add a user experience interface to make it easier to explore past audits on this audit topic, and define a standardized scoring model so multiple agents can compete for reputation, strengthening the entire ecosystem. Thanks to Hedera for providing all these cool tools to build agents on top of it so easily. And whatever you want to ask, I'm here to answer.
Thanks so much. That was a great pitch, Santiago. Again, it takes a lot of courage to come up on the stand here at Hedera X AI. We've got a couple of cues here. Again, reminder to the judges, if you'd like to ask a question, just drop a Q or an F in the chat and we'll bring you up. First off, we got Ash here from the Hedera Foundation. How's it going, man?
Hey,
what is
good.
Your question?
Hey, Santiago, thanks for the demo or for the presentation. I'm curious if you set the models that are used to do the auditing for the user, if you allow the user to select the model, or if you have a pre-trained model specifically for contract auditing.
Right now, I don't have a specific model. I can just tune in other models, and I have like a complex prompt asking for different things I want to get audited and some context about that. But that's a cool suggestion to make an improvement to this.
You know, with the hallucinations that we all see every time we try to program with large language models, without having a fine-tuned model, how effective or trustworthy do you feel like a product like this will be for the end user? You know, I'm always very hesitant around smart contract auditing using large language models, which hallucinate regularly. You know, does this add value, or does this simply introduce a new attack vector?
The idea is that you have an agent that has access to this LLM, but you should run other code analysis, not just giving this code to an LLM, but just running actual audits with different tools that exist there. And so ideally, I should run all these tools and then give that to the LLM to provide feedback, and not just getting all the feedback from that LLM. I think that's like the main way to do that, and will also provide all this context, fine tuning, and all that. But I think the main thing here is to run actual code audits using the agent on behalf of the user.
Thank you.
Hey, Santiago. So thanks for the presentation. Very, very clear to understand, you know, what you're trying to build. It's a bit of an extension to what Ash said. So I'll give you a very quick example. There was an AI bot that could assess how good your pitch was, right? Upload your pitch. It gave me some feedback, and I tested it a few times. And the first time it said, here's your, you know, this is what you did well, this is what you did wrong. And then as I asked it some targeted questions, it kind of reassessed the entirety of the pitch, right? So it turned out that the initial assessment wasn't really accurate based on a lot of criteria. So I'm kind of asking similar questions, but what do you see as constraints right now? Have you managed to backtest certain codes that were intrinsically flawed, and through your AI agent, you managed to actually, you know, preemptively find those flaws in, you know, codes that have been hacked or scammed in the past? Have you done any of these kind of testings on accuracy?
I try to run like always the same contract and try to check if it's consistent, and it does have some small variance. So I try to fine tune this prompt as much as I could. But as I said before, I think that the actual audit should be done by these tools that are deterministic, that search for specific things, and then provide this to the LLM as context. I think that will be the ideal case, but I haven't managed to get that done yet.
Okay. Yeah, well, could just be interesting also to have like a perfect code instead one small trap and see if it managed to find that or find the right assessment. But maybe small bit of feedback there, more out of curiosity. But yeah, thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks, Pietro. Great question. Great answer from Santiago. Really appreciate the honesty too. I think that's big. Understanding, especially in Web3, honesty is integral to everything, right? That we do here. I mean, Hedera is the trust layer, right? I like the feedback around running the traps with these kinds of audit-like mechanisms where you have a suite of tests that you can compare to not just your solution, but other solutions as well. And if we can verify that on chain, even better. Next, we've got Quincy here with a question.
Yeah, I think Ash touched on this a little bit. Aside from the issues of hallucinations, and sort of along the lines of how do you update the model, how do you go about potentially like implementing like new security practices, or if new things are brought up in the space, how are you able to implement that into your agent? I ask that because I feel like that's like the standard way for like security is, oh, somebody figures something out, everybody is now aware of it, and now we all start checking for it. How does your agent take that into account in sort of like the Web3 space where there isn't really much of a security standard, but there's constantly things being found out daily?
Right. Well, in this case, we could implement some kind of provider in Eliza. I think it has really cool features to implement that. So you should just get the source of this news and add it to the context. And the agent should be learning about that just as it goes. It's just another step in the process.
Okay.
Fantastic. And next, we've got a feedback here from Alex.
Yeah, thanks, Santiago, for a pitch. I just wanted to add that I've spoken with a kind of similar startup, but they are more focused on the traditional static analysis, as far as I remember. So it's the base of the core detection engine and something similar to this. So this, as far as I understood, it helps them a lot to reduce false positive. So their goal is to bridge this gap between like very expensive audits and to provide it to as I think you do for smaller Web3 startups. But yeah, probably you can check this one as well. So probably you can integrate it somehow to be more more provable, probably deterministic methods.
Great, yeah, that sounds cool. The end goal here will be that anyone can just go and throw a contract that they want to interact and be safe there. Just that doesn't having to trust blindly with anything, even if they don't know code.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's all of our questions for this one. And Santiago, thank you so much for coming up. I love these kinds of demos, and I love the integration into OpenConvey and Minscape, which is the AI to AI communication protocol. I think just the last question on my side, how do you foresee other agents talking to your agent with something like this?
Well, that's a good question. I would really like to test that and have that kind of interaction. I think maybe other agents could connect with mine and get feedback in the code and use it to fine tune their own code. And then when they're ready, just publish an audit and have their code ready up live with this kind of certificate or something to prove that the code they are using is secure.
Absolutely. Okay, I think, again, thanks, Santiago. I think we'll go into the next slot here.
Thank you very much, Santiago. Great job. I'm going to remove you down and we'll get started on the next stream here. Bear with me for a second. We have Hedera codes coming up next. And Parth, thank you so much for joining at the right time. Before we get too much into Hedera codes, maybe I'll do a brief intro. We're going to dive into Outlier though here for a second, but I'll give an overview of Hedera codes. Hedera codes is an AI-powered coding assistant that learns developers' unique styles to provide personalized programming assistance through integration with Hedera, the Hedera network. It combines decentralized AI agents with secure blockchain identities and context-aware memory systems, enabling more intuitive developer experience while pioneering new models for autonomous blockchain-anchored artificial intelligence tools. Before we hop too much into Hedera codes, I definitely want to get an overview of Outlier. So Pietro, definitely would love to hear kind of a breakdown of all of the things that you guys are contributing into the Web3 space. Bear with me as I do the spotlight layout. I don't know who's going to pop up first. Hi, Alex. So
almost
did it.
So yeah, hi everyone. So my name is Pietro. I'm leading investor relations and partnerships at Outlier Ventures. We've been in the industry for over 11 years now, so one of the very, very early, like builders in the space, if you want to call it like that. We started really doing bespoke advisory and incubation services. Then 5 years ago, we pivoted to an accelerator model. Since then, we've worked with over 400 portfolio companies. We worked with a variety of ecosystems, Hedera included, but also, ranging into the bigger ones back then, like Polygon, Near, Aptos, Filecoin, Algorand as well. And we also run thematic programs, not only ecosystem driven, but we like to focus on themes and trends, verticals, primitives in the market that we find to be the most exciting, not just now, because a lot of what crypto is following the trends, but we do like to be very future focused, so future facing. Obviously, I'm here on the panel as well, judging because we have a very strong interest in AI agents. We believe that, as Jamie, our founder, expressed in our new thesis, we are in a new era of the web. How we will interact with the internet and with online services is fundamentally changing. The primary entry point will be AI agents. And that means that the role of the human interaction online will drastically change. And the role of blockchain in this new age of web with AI agents will also kind of remodel itself around a much more solid and integral part of the web. So we're very interested in AI agents as a whole. We're running accelerator programs, which is, let's say, the phase after hackathons, also specifically looking at AI agents, and couldn't be more excited to be joining Hedera's hackathon demo day and seeing the kind of builders that come out of your program as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Pietro. We have Parth up here. Parth, I'll give you kind of the breakdown here. If you want, do you want me to load your screen up before you get started and before your 3-minute time starts? Would you like me to load your screen up, Parth?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let me load your screen up real quick. And once you give me the green light, I will start the 3-minute timer. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, so just so as a heads up, if you go over your time, you'll hear an annoying sound, and I will have to mute you, and then we'll get into feedback and Q&A. But if you're ready, I'm going to hit go on the timer, and your 3-minute pitch time starts right now.
All right. So Hedera Codes is a decentralized and personalized AI assistant, which allows you to create on-chain agents that work on HCS-10 and are easily monetizable on the Hedera blockchain. So the core features include you can just upload your GitHub URLs and the agent will learn your style. And the main thing is that it is easily monetizable, and you can easily access it using OpenConv AI platform. So the core functionality includes that it is built upon the core knowledge of the Gemini LLM and also takes the knowledge from your personalized code. So, and we also use advanced RAG, which allows easy decision making. And the communication of these agents happen through the HCS. Once you train your agent, you can visualize it using this knowledge graph, where you can view all the concepts and learnings of your agent. The registration of agents is pretty simple. You can just go to the dashboard and register your agents and set up any fees. So that will easily monetize your agent. And the easy access includes access from OpenConv AI, where you can just send a message and generate any kind of code. So the core advantage is that, as you have seen, Copilot and Cursor are majorly trained on users' code, which is often not really high quality. And for Hedera codes, the main advantage is that it is trained upon your own code, and it all stays local as you run on your machine, and it all stays in a knowledge graph. So it's really personalized, and you can easily monetize it. So it's like you code once and on hundreds of times, and it opens a huge opportunity for a decentralized economy. And our main vision is that uh, we are going to a direction of taking over all other tools, like not really in the near future, but like we can do that slowly. We can use multi-agent orchestration that will allow us to have a multi-agent environment where we can have multiple agents working on a same project, and we can also create a VS Code extension that will allow direct access from VS Code. So yeah, that's it from the pitch. Thank you.
Thanks, Parf, from Hedera Codes. For judges in the panel, let's queue up those Qs and Fs so we can get some feedback and questions to Parf. I am a little bit, adjacent to the name of your project. For those who don't know, my username on Twitter is Cantor Codes. So anytime I see something with codes in it, I get very excited. So thank you for coming up. We've got some questions here in the back. Quincy, you're up first.
Yeah, I kind of have a question. It's a little bit of a hilarious question, but in terms of your agent being able to mimic the style of somebody's repository, I sort of, the first thing that came to mind was, is there any sort of like correcting aspect to just keep them from duplicating any bugs or any issues that may have been in a prior repository? I only ask because that's like the first thing I think of in terms of like an agent being able to mimic a style of a previous repo, is that if someone made mistakes, it may be duplicating mistakes. How do you sort of mitigate that sort of issue, or how do you sort of go about that potential in terms of utilizing an already established code base?
So the thing is that it doesn't really learn your code, it learns from your code. So it's like it learns the concept but doesn't really learn the code itself. So it recognizes your patterns, how you create your code, how do you like it, like where do you like to put your comments, and what kind of file structure do you prefer. So it's basically, it recognizes the pattern but doesn't really learn the code itself.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that clarifies it.
That's actually really cool. As somebody who really despises Gemini because it just puts code comments everywhere. Like, I've had to make my own lit rules to tell Gemini, just stop doing that. So I like the idea of being able to train your own model to go and write code in your style versus the Gemini style or the Claude style. Ash, you're up next.
Hey, Parth. So when we're talking about train your own model, like in your voice or something, what does that actually look like? Well, how does the model intake my repository and use that, to match my voice or my style?
So basically, once you upload your GitHub URL, it splits into small parts and it goes into a knowledge graph where after that it recognizes the patterns from your code, and once you give it some prompt or something, it goes through that knowledge graph and gives you output from there. Like, yeah, all the magic is going inside the knowledge graph. So all the patterns are saved there, and all the concepts that you have used in your GitHub repo have gone there. And after you give a prompt to it, it just uses the knowledge graph and uses those pattern and gives you a output.
So it's pulling in that knowledge graph into the context window or something via RAG, or is it actually, are you attempting to fine tune a model?
No, we aren't actually fine tuning a model. It is basically RAG.
Right, cool, thank you.
Any more questions or feedback? We have about 5 minutes left for Hedera codes.
Yeah, cool. Ed, any thoughts from your side? We haven't heard your voice in a minute.
So far, so good. The pitch is clear. I was reviewing some of the information in the back end, but I think the questions that came through and Parth's explanation have been pretty solid so far. So thank you.
Fantastic. Anything else you want to share with us, Parth, I think, before we head out here?
Yeah, so I personally feel it is a good opportunity because Hedera is like, I'm being able to create agents that are easily monetizable. It's personally really good, and it's like you code once and you can create an agent swarm where you can have multiple type of agents, like, so it's really awesome because it can create a huge economy. So yeah, that's what I feel about it.
Awesome. I feel like if I see we have two different groups. Oh, Quincy, you had another question. I'm sorry.
I
Go
had
ahead,
one
Quincy.
more question. Yeah, just to get a little bit more of like a holistic idea, Parth, how do you envision someone utilizing what you built? Like you sort of stated before that you could sort of evaluate or go over your previous repositories. You can use multiple agents to like start a project. How would someone typically go about something like that in terms of utilizing the tool you just built? Just how you would envision it.
So it can be a like team project where you can build agents that are like that have different roles. So for example, one is for the front end and one is for the back end, and they can just orchestrate and work on it together. So it's like each of them will get paid through the Hedera monetization. So it's awesome, I think.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome.
I think so. Yeah, I think let's move on. Again, Parth, thank you so much for coming up. Really appreciate the demo and the pitch from your side. Pietro, I think you were heading out. If you wanted to say a word or two on your side before we.
Yeah, no, just to say I really appreciate all the pitches, all the judges. I'm sure tomorrow will be an equally good day. I'll be on the whole day tomorrow, so we'll have plenty of time to interact again and catch you all also offline. Let's connect on Telegram or whatever other means you're all comfortable with. See you all tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Pietro.
Bye-bye.
I just removed somebody else. It was Ed. All right, let me bring, I think, Vincent up, and I see we do have Fausto in here as well, and Cantor. I'll let you navigate however we want to navigate that. All right, so I don't know if I have, do we have a judge intro at this time right now? At 11:55, Cantor, do you have the other sheet up right now? We have like a minute of free time, so.
That would be Tutor.
Is it Tutor?
I think we haven't had Tutor come up yet.
Okay.
I think originally it was going to be Pietro, but we shuffled some things around.
Okay, great. Tutor, you have a couple minutes then to give us a heads up on all things Headstarter or all the other initiatives that are going on within kind of the wheelhouse. I know you're involved in so much, and just your thoughts on Hedera AI, and then we'll move into Novix here. And thank you for Vincent for joining us at the right time.
Yeah, thanks for the intro, guys, and again, thanks for the invitation of being here today. It's lovely to see so many interesting projects looking to build on Hedera. I'm personally keen to probably work with a few of them. At Headstarter, our mission is to support builders on Hedera, help them take their project to life. Our main product from Headstarter perspective is to help with crowdfunding, but we also accelerate and incubate projects depending on their needs and their potential. With the advent of AI and some of the key unique value propositions that Hedera offers natively, and some that are developed through Hashgraph Online, we see that there's a very high potential of seeing quite some important innovation that's built on Hedera, and we're excited for it to come to life, to reach its course, we feel. And at the same time, when it comes to Builder Labs, we are, as you guys may know, involved in a few projects. We're positioned at the intersection of key Hedera infrastructural components, from Citadel Wallet to MemeJob, and we see that the tokenization of agents is an important step towards having a robust and vibrant on-chain economy on Hedera. And as soon as we're going to see some important developments when it comes also to the monetization and treasury management really be a hurdle that is passed by these agents, we think that that's going to be a important first principles moment that we might see sooner than later. So yeah, if we'll be just FYI, we'll be in touch with a few of the projects that are coming to life, and maybe we're gonna make some important announcements when it comes to AI agents ourselves in the next future. So good luck to everybody, and congrats to Hedera, the foundation, and to Hashgraph Online for putting all of this together.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tutor. And we have Vincent up here. I believe we can, Cantor, if you want to after Novix, I'm happy to go a little bit longer. It's up to everybody up on here, but let's get through Novix first and then go from there. Vincent, can we do a quick audio check with you? See how your audio is?
Hi, can you hear me?
We can hear you perfectly. I don't know if you have any screen share or anything. If not, that's totally fine, but I'll give you a little overview of the way that this is going to work. You'll have 3 minutes. I'll give you a heads up before I hit the timer button. If you go over your 3 minutes, you'll hear an annoying sound and I'll have to mute your microphone. So we'll just take that as it is. If you have a screen to share, I'm happy to load that up right now before we start. Or if you're just going to walk us through it, that's fine as well.
Okay, thank you. I am going to share my screen.
Okay, if you want to load that up, that'd be great.
Okay, let me do that. So I hope everyone can see my screen.
Let me load it right now. All right. So it is loaded. If this is where you need to be, let me know if you're ready for me to hit the timer button.
Yeah, if you can see GitHub, I'm ready.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. I will give you a heads up. I'm going to hit the timer button and your 3 minutes starts right now.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Vincent again. So during the hackathon, me and my partner decided to build a marketplace for AI agents so that people can be able to explore and discover AI agents. And also our thought was also for the developers to find a place whereby they can be specialized tools, which one they can be able to monetize and just earn some money out of this specialized tool. So the inspiration behind this was Back in March, I was thinking, how maybe do I automate my process of filing my returns? Here in our country, we're supposed to file our returns by June 30th, but it's tedious. How do we automate that? And also, my other thought was we have so many toolings for developers to build on top of AI, but we don't have a platform whereby other users who are not tech nerds or techies or in general can be able to access these specialized tools so that they can be able to use them. So that's why we decided to build Novix. So Novix is just a platform, just interact with AI agents, maybe even purchases. This is all powered by Hedera AgentKit and Hashgraph HCS-10 protocol. So next, I'll be showing you a video, a walkthrough of our solution. It's put it on Loom. So first, the users can be able to interact with this solution by use of natural language. So they just type whatever they are looking for on the platform. And then, so we wanted a seamless process whereby a user just types the way they would do on ChatGPT and maybe be able to do a transaction. So here we see this user is able to maybe even look for AI agents. And in this step, they're able to now then purchase this on the platform. So we wanted to test to see if we can train our agents to be able to do a query and also as such. And also to monitor the activity of the agent, we wanted also to use of HCS-10 protocol to be able to be able to follow what transaction is able to do on chain and keep track of everything there as a verifiable audit log of the activities of the agent on the platform. So here the agent has been transferred to this user. So this user is able now to be able to interact with these AI agents. In this section, the user is now interacting with this AI. It's now developer can now build this AI agent from that platform. Yeah. So that's it from our end from Novix. Thank you.
Cantor, you've got some, or I guess this is everybody. You guys have some really good within the time frame pitches here. I haven't heard that annoying sound except for once today. So yeah, awesome job.
Yeah, it was great how timely you were with your presentation. I think you conveyed the information pretty clearly for everyone here. All right, so it's that time again. For our judges, can you pop in your Qs and Fs, and we'll bring you up through the queue here. First up, we got Ash from the Hedera Foundation.
Hey, Vincent, thanks for the demo. So when I am creating an agent, this registers that agent using OpenConvey on Hedera, and then anybody would be able to communicate to it using your web app. Is that how this works?
Yeah, essentially we thought of an idea behind that, but what we do for this demo, within the timeline we decided to create the AI agents on Eliza. Then we connect them to open the Hashgraph protocol. We connect them together so that they can be able to interact on both of them. So maybe, for example, that AI agent at the last bit of the demo, we created on Eliza because it was so easy to train on Eliza. Then we create also an instance to be connected on Hashgraph.
So is there a registration of the agent? You know, I asked because I saw how you searched for an agent that you thought would be helpful to you. Where is it going and actually searching for that agent?
Okay. So what happens is when we register that AI agent, we're able to save that information, the name, the prompt, the system information about that AI agent, the description. Then we save all that information in a database so that we can be able to query it as fast as possible. Now we connect the Hedera AgentKit, which is able now to query our database directly and find the patterns on it and create a query to the DB and then return the results to the front end. We wanted that process to work like that.
I see, right. And the interactions between the user and the agent, are those logged at all? Are those stored in the database? Are those stored on Hedera? What does that look like?
So the interaction we were able to manage to implement were the interaction that involve transfer of money, that section whereby we were purchasing the agent. We wanted that to be every activity that an AI agent, we thought of like, if you can be able to demonstrate an agent interaction, and especially specific interaction like that involve the sensitive like money, we can be able to log them on HCS. We wanted to log that.
And if I'm interacting with this agent and I wanted to send money on my behalf, do I fund an account that it has the keys to? Is there a human in the loop that it asks me to sign a transaction, or how does that key management work?
At the moment, we don't have human in the loop. We assign, we give the agent the keys at that time. Our thought would be maybe inject the key, maybe have human in the loop do the confirmation. But at the moment, we are just injecting the key at that time and then making the transaction.
Cool. Thank you, Vincent.
Thanks so much, Ash, for the question. Vincent, for the follow-up answer. We've got Tudor here with the next question from Head Started.
Yeah. Hey, Vince. Firstly, I saw in the live demo that there was a point where you pasted a secret in clear text there. I know that you mentioned also some key management, and that's like maybe some feedback. That's something that is of critical importance, I think, for every product, and everybody that wants to make sure that nothing nefarious happens to his wallet, his access, whatever. But I wanted to ask you, how do you see Novix evolving and becoming a business? What's the monetization avenues, and what would be the ideal next steps?
So the ideal next step for Novix would be creating a monetization program for the developers. So that would mean creating an interface whereby developers can be able to upload those AI agents from their source code from everywhere, and then be able to create a monetization strategy within the platform, whereby the developer can be able to monetize the AI agent, either maybe task-based, maybe selling the entire agent, or maybe after it's able to do, after maybe a given maybe subscription basis, maybe after a month you pay for the agent, one time task basis, such kind of things. And the other ones would be the users being able to pay using those models.
Great. I see Ash, you've got a follow-up question as well.
Yeah. Hey again, Vincent. Can you tell me more about I'm reading here, just Web3 integrated agent management with decentralized trust via Hedera's HCS-10. Can you tell us a little bit more about the agent management and decentralized trust aspect? Because I still haven't wrapped my head around how that trust is decentralized and how you're using HCS-10.
So my idea of HCS-10 was how do we create a verifiable audit trail of the activities of the agent on Web3. So it will be like verifiable activities. How do we verify these activities were done by this agent? Maybe, for example, that activity of doing a transaction, that's an activity. Maybe an activity of an agent who was able to complete a task. So we were thinking about it like verifiable activities which can be audited by anyone on chain. That was our initial thought process.
Cool. I think I suppose that's all of our questions for Vincent here, unless anybody else has any last calls on that. Thanks so much, Vincent, for coming up and doing your pitch here today with us. It takes a ton of courage to be here up on this stage. I think we crossed over 180,000 views earlier, so that's quite a stage. Ryan, I think I'm not sure if Foster's here in the backstage.
They are.
Okay. Foster, if you're still with us, I think what we can do is probably bring you up if you're ready to pitch. If not, we can see if we can make space for you tomorrow, potentially at the tail end. Are you with us right now, Foster?
Yeah, let me hop Vincent down. And again, same sentiments here, Vincent. Great job pitching. It does take a lot of courage, and I'm gonna hop you down here. Good job. Yep, it looks like we have Fausto with us here today. Maybe I'll before we hop into, let's do a quick mic check. Juan, how's your audio?
Hearing very well, thank you.
Cool.
Can you hear? Can you hear me well?
I can. Yeah, sound good. If you have anything to share your screen, if you're going to share a screen or anything, I can.
I was not able to share my screen, so I sent the link on the chat. Can you see it? It's a YouTube link.
Yep. Give me 1 second and I'll load it up. Before I do that, we've been kind of doing these intros here. I wanted to give Ed one more opportunity just to kind of walk us through what the Hedera X AI hackathon kind of represented, what the participation looked like, just to kind of, recap a little bit of that, and what we're kind of looking at right now with all these pitch participants. And I know that DevRel out of Hashgraph and across the entire Hedera ecosystem has been all hands on deck to really drive forward adoption of artificial intelligence and agentic AI and HCS-10 and everything else. So Ed, walk us into an intro here, and then I'm going to get Juan's YouTube loaded up.
Thank you, Solomon. So as I mentioned in the beginning, the mission and the focus of our DevRel team is to attract, engage, and retain developers. And a big portion of that is giving the opportunity to devs to build and try the network through hackathons. Now, for this particular hackathon, I do want to call out the incredible collaboration that happened with Hashgraph Online DAO and also with the Hedera Foundation. This was an incredible collaborative effort that resulted in hundreds, I think well over 200 hackers just going pretty hard over 3 weeks building these Hedera and AI applications. And here we're seeing the best pitches that came out of those projects that were built during the 3-week hacking period. And so I think this hackathon in the end represents what the future can bring. I think we're seeing a very accelerated time window where people are, compressing their best ideas, building solutions with agents, and bringing what the future can provide, which is decentralization for all the activities, all the interactions that happen between agents, but also the automation of the value exchanges. So I'm really proud that the Hedera technology can provide something so unique as the consensus service, so that parts of our ecosystem like Hashgraph Online can provide these standards that then developers can use to build these incredible applications. So it's really amazing to see those layers of technology that can power all these solutions that we're seeing built out, and that I'm sure will continue to be built out through future hackathons, through future development after this hacking period. And so if you're interested in opportunities to build with Hedera, stay tuned, because we're going to have more hackathons throughout the year. I think at least 3 major hackathons where there will be opportunities to build not only around AI, but also tokenization, green finance, and many other verticals. But I do want to say that AI and Web3 is going to be a key area where we're just going to see incredible innovation and acceleration and great opportunities for people to continue building.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ed. Michael, while I get my screen shared here, can you do me a favor and just can you manage the timer? Because that's what I was looking at on the screen that I'm going to be sharing now. Just Google search 3-minute timer and let me get this presented up here. Share screen. All right. So Juan, the way that this is going to work, and Michael will have a 3-minute timer loaded up. As soon as we hit the timer, I'm assuming you want me to press play on this YouTube video. If it goes over 3 minutes, we will mute the mic and get into Q&A here. But you let us know when you're ready. And Michael, are you ready with the timer?
Yeah, I think we're good to go. And just to flag, Fausto, you can use the 3 minutes however you want. So if you want to narrate as the video is going, please do that. It's up to you. And after the 3 minutes, then we'll have Q&A from our judges here. So judges, get ready for your last Q's and F's for this final showcase of today before we head out tomorrow for day 2. You ready?
Yeah, sure. I'm ready.
Cool.
All right.
Let's do it.
So hello, welcome to the Fausto project, a scalable network of agents deployed on the Hedera network via the HCS-10 protocol. Fausto is made up of specialized agents running in parallel, each of which can be accessed independently through the Moonscape user portal. The coordinating agent takes the user's request, evaluates which specialized agents are best suited to handle it, connects to those agents, gathers their responses, processes them, and then delivers a final answer to the user. At present, only the saucer swap module is functional within the scope of the hackathon. Others are still under development. Once complete, Fausto will offer a robust agent infrastructure that allows users to access the Hedera DeFi ecosystem directly and easily, without advanced technical knowledge and with guidance from our specialized agents. The saucer swap modular plugin systems handles several methods of the public REST API, abstracting the logic and passing it to the specialized agent via LangChain's plugin framework. Among its most interesting features is chart generation, which can fetch raw data from saucer swap and build the chart according to users' requirements. Then I'll upload the image to HCS-3 protocol, permanently hosting the charts within the Hedera ecosystem. So let's take a look at how HCS-10 is implemented. Fausto enables automatic connection and monitoring of incoming requests, both for messaging using topics and for accepting new topic subscriptions. It receives the user's request, defines which specialist agent will be used, and establishes a connection with it through the HCS-10 standard. The agent, in turn, determines which tools it will use. Thanks to this, any user can connect to Fausto through the Moonscape portal. And let's look at an example via the Moonscape portal. The agent is asked to analyze the HBAR USDC pool and generates a report. To do this, the specialized agent autonomously selected the appropriate plugins and built a report based on the saucer swap REST API response, enabling the user to make informed decisions. All of this is made possible through monetization via HIP 991, which applies to differential pricing according to various constraints, such as the number of models.
Thank
Was
you.
he at time? You were at time, Juan. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know if the audio went through on my side as the ringing, but I definitely felt it in my ear as it was happening.
It didn't ring. I didn't hear it, but it's okay. I understand.
Thank you, Juan.
Sure.
Obviously, I'm a fan of things like this because it is built on OpenConvey and it's utilizing the Moonscape portal, which allows us decentralized communication of humans and AI agents. And as Ash was hinting at earlier, the human in the loop as part of all of this. I thought it was also great that you have a business behind it. That's mentioned in the presentation where you're charging per query. And the coolest part about all this is it's implicit to Hedera through HIP 991. Monetization just happens just like that. It's very cool. That's just built into the network.
There you go.
So, all right, for a judging panel, if you have any questions or feedback, let's queue them up in the chat so we can have them at Fausto. My initial question is, where do you see Fausto going, and how do you see this scaling out over the next, 1 to 2 years?
In 1 to 2 years. So basically, this project can be seen as an entry of the ecosystem of Hedera. This is going to unify all of us, all of the services as well. Can you hear me?
Yes. When you mean unify all the services, do you mean other platforms on Hedera, like Bonzo, right?
Sure. Using all of the services of Hedera, for sure.
Cool. Let's see. We've got, I think, Alex, you've got a question.
Yeah. Thanks for a pitch. I was about to ask about the final user. So is it mostly retail as you see it from your side, or it's like B2B? And is it mostly for like simple questions, let's say, where the chart is going or something like that? What are the trends? Or it can be also used for macroeconomics analysis and something like that with the long-term trends and etc.
Okay. So the code is made to answer automatically, and it can give answers like through the protocol really easily.
Okay, but yeah. My final question, like from a business side, you need to understand, is it retail will generate for you revenue if we talk about the revenue or token model, or are you focusing on B2B? So that's my question right now. So are you planning to focus on more on retail or like attracting business to analyze their, let's say, market makers, hedge funds, etc., to analyze this data?
So now it's like a retail version, but in the future, I would like it to be like a big business. That would be it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Alex. Great question. As a reminder, Alex is with Funders VC, and they're always looking for new startups in the ecosystem to fund. We've got Ash here, Director of Ecosystem at Hedera. You've got a question for us.
Yeah, I'll try to be quick. What additional sources of information do you see that you could pull in to enhance the functionality of the project?
Right. So any source of information through the mirror of Hedera, it means any contract, any platform can be used to decentralize, and that would be it. Yeah.
I don't understand. What was that?
So any source of information through the mirror of Hedera.
The mirror nodes of Hedera, like the history nodes?
The history nodes of the database.
Okay, so the information is only based on on-chain data then. It doesn't pull any information externally. This is solely on-chain data.
It is only on-chain data. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right, I had the next question, Michael, so I'll just jump right in. So one, you spoke about, or you showed the pricing tiers, which I assume those are going to be for the end users that are seeking for, the specialized agents. But could you speak about the other side of the coin, which is what are the incentives or what mechanism do you have in place to incentivize the integrations of these other platforms into the Fausto system? Like if I were Bonzo or someone else, like why would I be dying to come over to Fausto and integrate my service there?
Can you please repeat the question again? Like, can you simplify it, please?
Sure. What are the incentive mechanisms for the platforms to integrate with Fausto?
So basically, it would be the plugins that are being used, taking into account to develop the code. So
could you help me understand that answer a little bit?
So the plugins are the tool used to abstract the logic of the business with the external platforms, and they are used in Fausto, so they can have the logic of the business,
All right, I think I follow, but I'm not sure that if that ties to incentives for the service providers, but I guess some sort of monetization or access to additional users. But wanted to hear those thoughts from you.
Well, thanks, Juan and Ed. I think that was the last question. I don't know if maybe we're having a bit of a language barrier there. But yeah, I think we can move on here. We're close to the end of the show here. Maybe what we can do is leave you guys with a few thoughts on the forward-thinking aspect, if you're okay, Ryan, or maybe we put that out for tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I think so. I again, Juan, thank you so much for pitching. I know it's always a nerve-wracking event, and I think for me it's really cool to see all of the taking a bigger picture approach at kind of the networking, making the user experience a little bit easier. I think that's I think it's going to be cool to witness as we kind of move forward. I'm going to hop you down here. Appreciate you guys joining today and being able to pitch. And thank you so much to Juan. So as we kind of ramp out here, I guess maybe just 1 minute from everybody up on stage. Closing thoughts. Ben, I know that we're not going to have you tomorrow, but I think we're going to have Altif from Constellation. I think we're going to have Marco back from Algorand. I do want to mention, let me share a screen for 1 second, if I can. This is tomorrow's demo day space. It's going to be very similar. A couple of hours. I think we have 7 pitch participants tomorrow, which should be really cool. A lot of the same participants up here tomorrow as well. So make sure that you guys share that post. The only comments I have, and then I'll round us out here and just rotate round robin. I think it's really cool to see all the innovation coming out of the space. I think there's some. I think agentic AI, the overlap into blockchain and distributed ledger technology is kind of a no-brainer. So for me, I think what we're kind of witnessing is like these kind of grassroots innovation use cases to either make the user experience a little bit better or to tie in network architecture and services, which totally makes sense. Really what's going to be interesting, and I think the points that everybody was trying to get across here is like, where are the business models? I think we're going to start seeing real business models shake out from this stuff, but it takes the innovative use cases to be able to get us to that point too. So it's kind of this like give and take, and it's going to be interesting to watch. I am super appreciative of all the guests that have joined today from multiple ecosystems, VCs, and innovators as well. And I'll do a round robin here. Maybe I'll start with let me start with Ash real quick, Director of Ecosystem at Hedera Foundation. Just maybe 1 minute on what you saw today and what you're looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, look, I love all of the creativity and the innovation. We saw everything from social platform integration to transfer and manage your account to smart contract audits to everything in between. So I'm really impressed so far with the variety of projects that have turned out. It's not just the same thing being pitched with a slightly different flavor over and over and over. So yeah, really refreshing. And it also speaks to the work that Cantor and the Hashgraph Online DAO have done, trying to build tools that set Hedera apart, so yeah, kudos to you guys, Cantor, and kudos to everybody who came and presented today. It's not every day you present to 100,000 people, so yeah.
Awesome. Ben, you guys are always kind of in the weeds with this stuff, and you've done a couple of kind of these hackathon type things in the past as well too, and I know you guys saw a lot of really interesting use cases from the data standpoint, but just your thoughts on an event like this, what you're excited about for the future, 1 minute or so, and yeah, thank you so much for joining, Ben.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for leading all the Q&A. You guys had really great questions. Understand the Hedera ecosystem and what tools they're talking through much better than I do. I learned a ton about Hedera today, and I'm blown away by the extent of your capabilities. I think overall, like really good participants, pretty good presentations. Yeah, there's a lot of innovation. I'm not sure how much time they really had to prep, to really think through the end vision. But I think that's kind of a sign of maturity in this whole industry, is seeing that there's a drive for more business models, thinking through the end customer, not just something cool. That was 8 years ago. So I hope we could evolve past that. So I agree with your comments, and awesome to see all these presentations and what's capable on Hedera.
Awesome. Thank you, Ben. Quincy, you've been with us the whole day. Thank you, Quincy. Closing thoughts from you, Quincy, and I think we have Lance from the XTC Foundation joining us tomorrow, but what are your thoughts, Quincy?
Yeah. So Lance will be joining you tomorrow. So unfortunately, I will not be here. But seeing the projects come by today was quite fascinating, actually. Actually, to what Ben said in terms of the amount of like novelty and people actually building like really interesting things and kind of seeing what type of models can be built on top of that. I'm reading this book called like the Startup Founders Manual, and one of the key components of that is a lot of these new projects. It's not just a new technology. It's not just a new way of looking at things. They're creating new models, right? We've established business models in which that can be optimized, but a lot of these new projects are creating new models, and seeing how they use the technology to be able to fulfill those models is just exciting all the way around. And it was just very much interesting just seeing all the different things that they come up with. Only like a handful of those things I would have come up with. So just to think, wow, okay, that's an interesting way to go about something was very much fun, very much a lot of fun. But thanks for having me.
Awesome, Quincy. Thank you. Alex from Funders, any closing thoughts from you?
Yeah, I agree with like almost everything being said. I just wanted to add like feedback, as I and probably Peter from Outliers Ventures said, like we were asking questions about like business model and go-to-market strategy, etc. Probably it's too early for the builders at the moment, but it's good to see and to understand the long-term vision, because from a VC side, we like in every call we're asking this question: what is your traction? What are you building? Where are you going? So it all so great founders know where they are going, what they want to build, and where are they right now. So that's why like probably it's some good thoughts in this hackathon to think of the future and where they can build with these awesome technologies. So yeah, I guess that's my thoughts from my side.
Awesome, Alex. Tudor, closing thoughts.
Yeah, thanks. I think I reminded myself why we like at HeadStarter to work and speak with founders on a daily, help them out with whatever they might need to launch a successful project, and it's the enthusiasm and the raw, really ideas that come out of this that, as Alex said, maybe, or was it Quincy that said that it's sometimes for us doesn't really come to mind. And I loved the ideas, that there was really a couple aha moments that, oh, this makes sense if put in the right frame. So I do think that there's a lot of potential here today. It's exciting to see this potential come to and participate in the Hashgraph Online Hackathon. I think that Hedera is very well positioned in its native services. I think I've mentioned this earlier, to really capture a wide array of innovation in the AI field. And yeah, excited for tomorrow. I do think that there are some projects that really are very, on the right path. And, it took us quite a few years in crypto to realize that one of the main killer applications are stable coins. So I think when it comes to agentic AI, we're kind of like early already in identifying some killer use cases, and who knows where the next breakthrough application will be.
Awesome. Thank you, Tudor. And then Michael or Ed, whichever one of you guys, or both of you guys, if you guys want to lead us out, that'd be great.
I'll share some thoughts real quick, Michael. I loved the variety of tools and approaches that we saw today. Many people talked about the creativity, the innovation. I love seeing all of that. And specifically, what stood out to me was the usage of those native capabilities that are so unique to Hedera in a very easy to use way. And then layered on top of that was the standard created by Hashgraph Online, that HCS-10. And layered on top of that, sometimes we even saw these agentic frameworks like ElizaOS, and all of that being layered to solve real problems, to automate flows, right? To automate your contract development, to bring those ideas that Tudor was talking about, those raw ideas, bring them to life. And so, what I'm excited for going forward, even beyond this hackathon and this demo day, is seeing what are going to be the business models, what are going to be the market penetration, user acquisition strategies that these users are going to go after once they continue building afterwards. So, very excited to see what happened here today, what these guys built and guys and girls built today, and then very excited to see where they're going to take all these projects and solutions.
Awesome. And then Michael, lead us out here.
Thanks, Ed. Well, just one huge thank you for everyone who's shown up. It is an honor, as the president of Hashgraph Online, to be here today with you all and help organize this event. As of today, we facilitate over 28 million transactions through these open source standards. And we saw that a number of the tracks actually utilized Open Convey, utilized ElizaOS, utilized AgentKit. And all of this, it precipitates down to the power of open source, right? We're all building in Web3, we're building on these frameworks that are out in the open, which is really different because I'm sure that many of us came from that Web2 background originally before we got into Web3. And it's weird to say, okay, I'm gonna put all of this stuff out in the open and anyone could copy it, anyone can fork it and use it. And then we go and say, well, you're gonna build on top of these things. And we've seen that actually this is quite successful. And we have all of these new startups that are saying, okay, I get this ethos, I resonate with it, I'm gonna build on top of it as well. And that shows to the goodwill and it shows to the trust of the ecosystem. Even with this event, we have representation here from Constellation, XDC Foundation, and Algorand was with us here earlier. We have VCs from all walks of life that have joined us. And I'm sure the folks watching this stream are participants in every part of the Web3 ecosystem. I know that Ash hinted at this earlier, but the future, and Ben, you also mentioned this too, the future, we're all going to be talking to AI agents, right? That is the future. That is the big bubble of where we're looking. And the writing is absolutely on the wall for that future. Just think about yourself, how often you're going to Google versus going to ChatGPT for your inquiries. And I implore to anyone building in the AI space to start getting that across, because it is crystal clear to us, and that is where the direction is going. So tomorrow for day 2 of the demo day is actually going to be really exciting. We have a couple of really cool projects that I'm personally stoked about that touch on the areas of DeepN and AI and even stock brokerage. We've even got 2 showcases too, in addition, that will get sprinkled on. Hashpack will be joining us tomorrow, and they're going to be doing a really cool demo. And we will also be demoing what we think the future looks like at Moonscape with Open Convey, and this idea of bringing the human into the loop. And what does it mean for us to all be talking to AI agents in a decentralized ecosystem? So yeah, please join us tomorrow for another exciting event where we will close this out with more pitches and more showcases. And also, huge shout out again to Genfinity, also the Hashgraph team and the Hedera Foundation team. There's so much work behind the scenes to make this event happen.
Yeah, awesome job, everybody. The pitch participants were great, and to all the guests, thank you so much. We're going to ramp this down. We will see you tomorrow. For everybody up here with me, hang out for 1 second so I can make sure I get the recordings, and I'm going to end both of the streams.